Kidding. So like, did you try music when you were a kid?
No. I think I might have messed around on the piano a little bit with like a great aunt or something. Maybe a couple of lessons, but it didn't really take. And I bought myself a guitar when I was like 22, 23, and for a few months or whatever, I was really trying to teach myself, go online, watch some videos and stuff. And I don't know. It just doesn't. I much prefer listening to it than learning how to play it.
The recorder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So when did you realize you wanted to go into engineering?
That was early on, for sure. So when I was really young, my favorite movie was Free Willy, and I'll make the connection here. And
Free Willy.
Absolutely. So Free Willy. So of course, from the age of like probably 3 to 8 or so, I want to be a marine biologist. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I want to help free the whales, save it, all this, do all this stuff. But then got to find out that, biology is not really my forte. I don't think that was going to work. And then I started watching. So I'm big into just learning about stuff through watching. I'm a visual learner. Mm-hmm. And so I started watching these shows on Discovery Channel and TLC about modern marvels and engineering disasters and stuff. And it's like bridges were the things that fascinated me the most. Yeah. Watching how they would construct a suspension bridge, like say the Golden Gate Bridge and things like that. And
have you seen that in real life?
No.
Dude, it's cool. I wouldn't go to San Francisco. You'd have to pay me a lot to go back to San Francisco, but when we went, man, that is a cool structure. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, the coolest one I've seen in person's there, South Pittsburgh, on the way to Chattanooga. Yeah, there's a good one. But yeah, so ever since then, I was like, I think engineering is a really good fit for me with my mindset, my just the way I think about things. And so I just kind of stayed on that track. I picked up tennis when I was early teenager. And so that was what I was going to do. I was going to be a tennis player in college, and I was going to study engineering. And I did that for 3 years together. And then I realized, okay, I'm either going to be a professional in one or the other, because I can't do both. At the school that I was at, because our practices were from 6:30 to 9 each morning, and my toughest class was 4 days a week at 9:30.
Yeah.
So I was sleeping through that class a lot. I would get home, I'd shower, and be like, I can't do it. So anyway, decided to leave the tennis team and finished up in school.
Is that where you got like your flair for clothing? Because I've noticed in our Vanguard workouts, very bright colors, It matches.
I'm a bright kind of guy.
It matches, man. I'm saying, but it's like orange shoes. Like I'm talking about flamey orange.
Yeah.
Is that where you got this? Is that where you picked that up, or has that always been a thing?
It's kind of always been a thing. I think my dad, he used to have some white shoes, like white loafers that he would show off and stuff. So I think my dad got it from me.
I never did well with white, man. I always get stains in it. It makes me wear darker clothes.
But I love bright colors, and so that was. So let's see. Finish up in engineering.
Where did you go?
Long story, but quick version is went to Gadsden State for tennis. Then went to UAH for a few years. Went to work for a couple years, and then decided I think I'm ready to go back to school. And then finished up at UAB, where I actually got my undergrad degree, and then I had an associate's.
What does the A stand for in that? It's not Tennessee.
Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
All right.
You said that a little bit like Forrest Gump, by the way. That was impressive.
Freaking-bama.
Remember that was when his little girlfriend Jenny was getting on the bus, and
exactly.
He's like, we should go home to Greenbow, Alabama. Yeah, that's what it sounded like, man. It was impressive.
Life's like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
Especially with you, too, man. Lucas
I just try to one-up him, and I know it's not ever going to happen.
Lucas is our boy, man. You never know what you're going to get with Lucas. Yeah. So, early in your career, getting into engineering, let's let's talk about that a little bit. So you came to Nashville, went to work for a firm here locally, and I mean, not going in. You know, what were your expectations?
Sure.
And what was the reality?
So
culture-wise and everything.
Yeah, so the expectations. So I started off with a company in Nashville that did have a little bit of structural bridge kind of engineering offerings. So I jumped at that since I was taking bridge engineering courses as a senior and stuff in college. So got a few months into that and just didn't really get a whole lot of the work that I was hoping for.
Yeah.
And then the company I was with got a big contract to work with Metro Nashville for sidewalk design and sidewalk implementation.
Yeah.
And I was one of the very few in the office that knew how to run the program that they needed, which was MicroStation. And so I got moved into that.
Which is funny. Not a lot of people use it. TDOT uses it.
Yep.
I guess NDOT uses it for Nashville Department of Transportation. I mean, that's about all that I know. Most people are just CAD.
It's a transportation software, and thankfully through my time at Gadsden State, I learned how to use it. It is very similar to what we use here as AutoCAD. It's just different kind of commands to do the same general things. But so I worked with that for over a year, doing just kind of monotonous, kind of point and click sidewalk connection kind of things, and I was like, man, there's got to be something more. And then God gave me something. God gave me something more with another firm, and I started doing civil site development because every time I would reach out to another company, I'd be like, "Oh, do you have any civil site development experience? Do you have any experience with this?" I'm like, "No, but maybe I should," kind of thing is what I was thinking. So I have bounced around to a few different companies, but I've been with here now for about 3 years. And
I know, man.
For the most time, it's been in my history since 2017. For the most part, I've been doing civil site development, and just really enjoy again, not monotonous at all. You're always working on something different every day, and the faster pace really suits my lifestyle and how things work. But I love working for the clients that we have. I love working for the people that we work with.
Yeah, and I always kind of want to pause on this one for a second because it's funny because I was very similar, man. You get into engineering. I went to work for TDOT, went to work for companies after that and stuff, and you're just like, this is not what I was expecting it to be, And I think most engineers getting started in their career, I think most people in general getting started in their career, they get into the world and it's just not what they expected it to be. And, I wanted to back up for a second because I heard this from somebody else and kind of had developed it, but they said, you can't decide one day I want to get into engineering or I want to get into the medical field, right? But if you get a degree in those things, then you can decide one day, well, I want to get into business.
It'll take you.
I want to get into marketing. Those other things, yes, it's good to get a degree with them, but the technical degree that comes with getting into engineering, you can't just decide one day I want to get into it because of the licensing and everything else. So, I even with our own kids, I try to encourage them to look into those subjects. And do you feel like engineering was the right career path for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take classes in high school or tests in high school and college and stuff like what do you want to, what suits you the best, and every time I took it, it was some sort of engineer. I think just the analytical mindset, the logical mindset that you almost have to have and be able to,
So let me ask you this. So from an engineering perspective, you had mentioned it is different here, right? Based on your past experience.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like most engineers are kind of in the same predicament or kind of, well, I guess this is it, and I'm just going to stick it out here?
Yeah, I mean, I could be...
Not here at AEC, but I mean, whatever firm they're at.
you know, and I know I'm very adverse to change. So whenever change happens, yeah, no,
I've never noticed that in you.
Whenever change happens, it's really tough to handle. So if you're in, you know, we talk about comfort zones a lot. If you're in your comfort zone, you're just kind of going through the motions at whatever job you're at, then a lot of people are comfortable with that until God makes a change, right? Till God presents an opportunity with you. And thankfully about 3 years ago he did, and I met y'all.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times people, steadier people, you know, personality wise, until the pain to change is less than the pain to stay the same, they won't make the change. And so, you know, it's a lot of engineers are risk averse, which is one of the reasons why they're good engineers, because they have a conservative approach to life and design and everything else. But to you, let's talk real quick about what are some of the differences to note between past firms. I know we've talked in the past, there was kind of a, for lack of a better phrase, pigeonholed on what you could do versus you come here and you're like, you know, let's train you in several different things to make you a better engineer. Even if one of them you're more gifted in than the other, you know, it's still better to learn. Do you feel like that approach is a better approach than becoming just a specialist in one thing?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, with how small our company still is and stuff, that we wear a lot of hats, right? I get to work with our survey team a good bit. I get to work with our civil site team. I get to work with our development team. So just all sorts of different things. And then I'm also working with the structural team whenever there's a retaining wall design or structural things that kind of tie in with the civil site as well. And that's one of the things that really pulled me to this, was to be the start of something that was going to continue to grow and grow. And we've seen that happen in the 3 years I've been here.
Oh, yeah. We're just getting started. So you got to go out to Omaha last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think about that one?
That is a huge job.
It is. So Omaha Water Treatment Plant is one of the main water plants for Metro Nashville, Tennessee. And so they've got K.R. Harrington, which is next to go and get renovated and upgraded. OMO is, you know, it's a $1.5 billion project, but, you know, they're updating everything in it. And here in the last, what'd you say, 6-7 months, we've gotten pretty heavily involved, you know, in some of the design aspects of it with the contractor, Sant. But, you know, you were out there with the survey team, problem solving some stuff, and with Jeremy, so did you enjoy getting out in the field?
Yeah. It was a good kind of break from the system of what we have been doing. So I want to do it more. I really enjoy spending time with Jeremy. We like to cut up together, and he listens to good music. So we just driving down the road, and he's listening to his grunge 90s music. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard this song in 20 years. This is fun. But it was it's always good to see the things out in the field as well, because I know that we're going to be continuing to work in that plant and all around that area, and to actually see it and see the scale of what it is. You know, it's one thing to see it on Google Maps and like, oh yeah, this is big. Oh, this solar farm they have here is huge, and then you drive by it and it takes like 2 minutes to get past it. It's that big. So
yeah, and I think, you know, well, first of all, Jeremy he's so knowledgeable. I mean, he's been doing surveying for, I guess, almost 30 years.
28, I think he said, yeah.
And I think getting out in the field, like you said, getting the perspective on things and spending time, you know, because internally you oversee the design group, the design team, who, you know, imports the field data and everything else. Right. And, you know, it's one thing when you see stuff on paper, but when you get out into the field, and I had this experience at TDOT when I was kind of in the structural design team, and there was an abutment that was getting poured, you know, and on plans, you're like, it's this perfect little design world, and it's all great, and it's easy. And then you get out in the field, and there's stuff in the way, and Fred's hung over, who's the concrete guy. He's in a bad mood and misses something. I mean, it's just people. And that's the dynamic that you get when you get out in the field, and the appreciation, you know, for what they're doing. Because, you know, it's easy to say, well, why didn't the surveyor pick this up? well, god dang, there's construction equipment going everywhere, and there's all kinds of stuff you're keeping up with, and so it gives you that appreciation, for what they're doing out in the field. And so let's talk real quick about our arcs. Here recently, you've had the opportunity to start building those out. Can you talk about arc and what that means? And, me, I'm not traditional, but what that actually stands for, the acronym most people recognize, which is SOPs. And
right. So, for the first couple years or so of the company, we were preaching SOPs. And each company has their own specific SOPs. Well, we want to be even more specific than that. And you came up with the acronym or the title of ARC. Mm-hmm. And it's really, you use the analogy or the representation of, it's like Noah's Ark, right? Where you build things before the storm comes so that if the storm does come, that you are prepared. Mm-hmm. So we have these processes that we have been working on currently to whether it's recording videos and doing a step-by-step process of each of the design types that we do, mm-hmm. which is what we're doing currently. And then for other stuff, it's like billing process and project management kind of stuff. So it's all these processes that we kind of have a little bit of an idea of how to do it, but it's always better when it's written down and it's set. Mm-hmm. So we're still, developing all of those and learning new things about it and learning how we can improve on the things that we have been doing. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like baking a cake. You got to have a recipe, and within that recipe, you talk to some of the best, chefs in the world. They have ingredients, but they can still be creative in it, and as long as they stick to the basic things that create it to what it is, then everything is communicated clearly. Everybody's on the same page. You can take one project, one person could be working on it. If something happens, another person picks it up. It creates consistency, mm-hmm. And so it's, alliances, roadmap, and keys. It's ARC is K, not ARC, but ARK. And I mean, our whole concept is, if you're all on a boat, an ARC, and storms going all around you and everything else, you can weather the storm if everybody's sticking to their processes, staying in their lane, doing their job. And you also set the bar on what winning looks like. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to know what winning looks like. And, clearly communicating what it looks like is good for both parties. It also gives, what would you say, our younger staff, they don't have to come to you for everything.
Right.
It gives them a little bit of ownership and, builds their self-esteem so that, they're making decisions. They're like, now we're putting stuff on video, mm-hmm. and giving them free time. And it's really cool, man. I'm proud of you. Come a long way on that.
Thank you.
So before we go, let's talk about the Vanguard workout.
Love to.
And also talk about, let's also talk about that little junk drawer in your desk. We're still battling that one.
Yeah.
But here in the last, I guess, 6 months, you've got very engaged in the Vanguard. I think you love the team aspect of it. What's been your favorite part about it?
All of it, really. But the team aspect was huge. Like when you and I were on Ferrari. Mm-hmm. That was fun. So we even
so what were the teams?
So we were based off the F1 teams. We had Josh and I were on Ferrari with Steve, and then we had Mercedes.
Yep.
That was you, right?
Were you on Mercedes?
I don't even know.
You were. It was you, Luke, and Lisa on Mercedes.
Well, I know our team.
They were a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, right. Luke was strong, and then Mike was super strong. What was it that you did? The wall sit. The wall sit for like 18 minutes or something. It was ridiculous.
just 5.
Just 5.
But then we also had Team Red Bull.
That's right.
And then McLaren. And McLaren was the only one that got the one challenge. So I'd say they were probably the top team, but they were. We all were split pretty evenly. So that was really fun. And just having something where not only because we had challenges right before that, but now we had challenges as a team where it was like a relay race or something where you were, and I love team aspect, right? I've been on teams, tennis teams, soccer teams, football teams, whatever it was since I was before I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So team stuff is great, and that's one of the things I love about our team here. But like you're saying, the Vanguard stuff, I mean, I'm super impressed with all of our team, how much they bought in. Mm-hmm. It's not about any of the Lampions that we give out.
Which is fun, and it's funny how competitive people get. It's kind of like they got their little trophy of them stacked on their desk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you're but you're right, man. And it's but now it becomes a habit.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, it starts out like you're making yourself go, and you're like, I don't have time for that, and then you start going.
Now I look forward to every Tuesday and Friday morning. Like we had to change my schedule because I was taking my kids to school and stuff, but thankfully my wife was able to work around her schedule, and we've got it to where I can come both days that the team works out at. And it's so much better, even though I'm kind of doing my own thing for my workout, it's just still so much better to see our team there and get, every time you see what you give them a little fist bump or something. Hey, good to see you this morning.
You know someone's watching you, so you can't be slacking.
Well, it's a good accountability system. I mean, even me, as driven as I am, I mean, I hired Zach Lannon, who also runs our Vanguard program at the gym, specifically to keep me accountable, so I don't overdo or underdo, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, we all need accountability. Mm-hmm. And so that creates that, and then you have culture because you're operating, because I know you like doing outside events with our people.
Love it.
Trying to set up whatever.
Disc golf.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it gets you outside the office to bond, and that was something I learned at VMI. And you were an athlete too, but doing stuff away from your job creates a deeper relationship. Doing hard things with people creates a deeper relationship. So, by the way, what did you tell me Alicia's now? She said she's calling you like pipes.
Oh, yeah.
You got a bigger shirt now, man.
Yeah.
We didn't want that thing getting too fitted. It gets a little uncomfortable around here.
Medium.
That's for Josh.
What? But, no, I mean, what's been your favorite challenge? Can you think of one in particular? I mean, they kind of suck, but
yeah, I know which one was my least favorite. Was anything involving that assault bike?
Assault bike. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. But
the minute bike ride.
I liked climbing Mount. What was it?
Oh,
we climbed the Eiffel
Tower.
Not Mount Everest. We climbed the Eiffel Tower. So
Versa climber on the Versa climber. Yeah,
it'd be really fun to actually maybe at some point in my life I get to go to Paris and check out and actually climb the stairs of the Eiffel Tower and see how that compares.
I thought you were going to say climb the side of the Eiffel Tower. Why not? Get a permit. Yeah. I'm sure. So, in closing, real quick, if you had a young engineer, that you were giving advice to, which, we talk a lot about mentorship here.
Yeah.
And again, talking to the Vanguard, the other side of it is it's different when you have to show up for yourself versus showing up for other people. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have children, you really, really understand that at a deep level. But what advice would you give a young engineer right now? Like they were just getting started out, starting, day one. What advice would you give them that you wish you could do over again?
Well, it's not even necessarily that I'd do over, but it was just the feeling that I got when I was with the company I was with before here, and again, I was just kind of comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. I was going through the motions. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't going to be moving up or down anywhere. I was just comfortable where I was at. And, we talk about it all the time of being comfortable, getting uncomfortable and stuff like that. Just kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone really makes a big difference. So just know that there's always something better. That the Lord has something better for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
And He will never steer you wrong. Just trust in His will, and that will get you where you need to go. So, if there's an opportunity that comes that you just, it seems like it's just out of thin air, well, maybe it's not. Maybe God put that opportunity in front of you to try to stretch you out of your comfort zone so that you can better yourself.
Yeah. Well said, man.
Thank you.
Get comfortable getting uncomfortable. Couldn't said it better myself. I'm proud of you, man, and look forward to all the things, and we'll have to have you on again.
Love it.
Anything else, Mikey? You got anything? She's the best color man in the business, folks. Let me tell you, this is my right-hand man, dude. Solid, steady as a rock. Anyways, thank you. Good job.
Thanks, bud.
Well done.
Thank you.